Jesus said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit." And I always used to wonder, what does that mean? And what I learned was that there are different ways of looking at that. The two things that I remember about that are poverty, in the fact that we don't really bring anything technically to God, because God has given us everything. Everything that we have because of the grace of God. Being able to understand that and know that this is not an equal relationship, that what we have is our willingness. Jesus talked about those who will worship him in spirit and truth. And so it's more of a condition of our heart, which again, the grace of God is involved in the condition of our hearts. So technically, we don't bring anything to God. We ask God to bring us closer to him, to teach us how to love him, to teach us how to do his will. And his will is everything. He is everything. He is our treasure in heaven. And that leads to the second aspect that I think of when I think of being poor in spirit, is really understanding that in addition to humility, we have this, we want to progress spiritually to the point that we are very detached from the things of this world, and even the merits that we achieve in this world on the spiritual level, to not have an attachment to them, but to want to give those over to the will of God as well. Therese de Lisieux talks about how when she gets to heaven, she doesn't want to show up with anything in her hands. She wants to rely completely on the mercy of God, and everything that she earned in this life spiritually that would be, stored up as treasure in heaven, so to speak, would be actually have already given up for the salvation of other souls. So ultimately, our treasure, everything is in heaven. Our treasure is God. Our treasure is the warm, loving embrace of God. And he gives us a little bit of that in this life. And when we are ready to be with him for all eternity, we will have that for all eternity. And the hope is that none will be lost. And we keep praying and trying to be more and more generous with what God gives us, and hoping for all of humanity to realize that God loves them and wants to give them this everlasting peace. And, so whatever we can do in this life, that is our food. That is our bread. It's the will of God to bring all of humanity to him through his love that dwells within us. So kind of hard to feel poor when you have everything. So it's kind of an interesting thing. So I just hope you have a beautiful day, knowing that you have everything if you have God. And if you feel like you don't have God, seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you, and ask and you shall receive. Just ask knowing that you will receive. And have a blessed day.